NSCAA continues to showcase top college soccer on FSC, including last Friday's NCAA chip rematch between the reigning champs from Maryland and their ACC rivals North Carolina. We'll take a look at that game and see what teams are rising to the top in this week's NSCAA Men's College Soccer Review. Hello everybody, I'm Dean Linke and welcome to the NSCAA Men's College Soccer Review. We're standing in the Mecca, where Ludwig Field, home to the reigning champion Maryland Terrapins, where they absolutely will pack this house tonight. And joining me now, our sideline reporter, Amira Parsegian. And Amira, Ludwig Field right here is a big-time place for soccer. They might set a record tonight.
That's right. They broke their season record against UCLA with 6,718. This field holds 7,000. We'll find out later in tonight's game if they break that record.
All right, Amir, now I welcome in my broadcast partner, normally with me upstairs, but down on the field, former Georgetown coach Keith the Batsnick. And Keith, I'll tell you what, if you're a fan of college soccer, you are a fan of this one. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, well, this is definitely the march of the week for sure. I mean, how can you get this better? You know, Fox Soccer Channel, Friday night game, huge crowd tonight, and the rematch of last year's championship. Now, is Maryland actually defending a championship, or are they going for a new one? We'll see tonight, won't we?
Well, let's first talk, before we look at the rankings, about Sasha Swarovski, because many people are starting to say he's doing here what Anson Dorrance has done at North Carolina. Sasha says no way, but I'll tell you, it looks like that. 6 of the last 9 college cups and 2 titles.
Yeah, well, certainly, you know, on the men's side, you know, it's hard to argue with the success that Sasha has had, and that success has come actually with Ludwig Field in many ways. I mean, he's really built this. I remember coaching 15, 20 years ago here, and there was maybe, you know, 500, 600 people. They were standing on a hill, and now you've got really one of the best places in the country, but it's because the atmosphere is so great. The fans have come out, and that's really helped make them the team that they are.
And speaking of UNC, Elmar Bolovich hasn't done too bad a job either.
No, he hasn't, obviously. A national championship in 2001. He's been to 9 of the last 10 NCAA tournaments, and I'll tell you what, they got a little bit. They want to get back to that College Cup final and win it this year.
All right, let's go around the horn as we take a look at the NSCAA rankings. Akron, #1. How did they do it? A big win over Indiana.
Yeah, well, not only a big win, but a big crowd as well. You know, Akron set their record last week beating Indiana. They're still undefeated, leading the league again.
And what is that? South Florida, right between North Carolina and Maryland? Tell us about them.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, George Kiefer's got his team going 5-0-1 right now. They've got 2 matches this weekend, West Virginia and Pittsburgh. They could go to 7-0-1.
Another ACC school, Wake Forest, but then UC Santa Barbara, we get to see them again, this time against the Indiana Hoosiers next Friday.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, tune in next Friday, because you think there's going to be a big crowd tonight, 7,000, that's huge. Try to double that. I think that's what we'll get next week.
And how about #6, Wake Forest? They're going to take on Harvard down the road.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, you know, Harvard has done such a great job. Jamie Clark, they're 6-0 right now. This game could go a long way in the NCAA tournament picture at the end of the year in terms of what they'll have on the resume to be selected.
UCLA hold up #10. Let's flip the chart there, and you see UVA and Duke at 11 and 12.
Yeah, now here's two teams back into the top, trying to get back to the top of the ACC. George Gelovich just won his 200th career game with a 2-1 victory over GW on Tuesday night.
Well, when you think of Monmouth, you think of Christy Rampone, of course, the famous U.S. national team women's team captain, but now Monmouth on the men's side doing well.
Yeah, Robbie McCord has done a great job in just a couple of years there. He's turned this program around. They're 7-0. They have a big game this weekend against Loyola. Maybe they go 8-0. Loyola last year going undefeated right through the end of the season. Maybe this is Monmouth's turn.
Back in the day, Scotty Schweitzer had North Carolina State center stage. They're back again in the top 20.
Yeah, and I tell you, they had a great game on the weekend with Maryland, a 1-1 tie where Drew Yates scored in the last couple of minutes to salvage the tie for Maryland. George Tarantini trying to get them back to the top.
The America East Conference gets represented. BU, Neil Roberts, tough loss to BC, but they'll be there in the end.
Yeah, they will be in the end, and I think that Neil's, again, done a great job. They bounced after that loss, you know, to win, and we're going to see them again later on in the season against Binghamton.
All right, now how about the Michigan Wolverines? Started the season with a tough loss to Notre Dame. Look at them now.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, you know, Michigan has done a fantastic job. You know, they had a big win, 5-1 over Bowling Green during the season, 5-2-0 right now. And again, you know, these are teams that they're trying to stay in the top 25. They need to keep winning, you know, to try to break the top 20 and get in there, but a great start for them.
And a little love for Brown.
Yes, of course. You know, Mike Noonan and Brown doing well for the Ivy League. Again, they've started off 4-0-1. Big game this weekend in Santa Clara.
All right, let's take a look at the men's player of the week from the NSCAA. Who got it done last week?
Well, this was Yannick Salmon, and we saw him on TV on Fox Fox Soccer at Santa Barbara just a couple weeks ago. This time, Yannick Samney, he had 3 goals, including a game winners versus both UConn and Providence to open up Rutgers' Big East season. They're 2-0 in the Big East going into this weekend.
And Keith Salmon, a transfer from Maryland. He may have been looked as the Maryland Terrapins on a goal with under 2 minutes from the talented center back, a true inspiration, overcoming 2 ACLs. Kevin Tagney, who's won 2 national championships from Maryland. He might be looking for 3.
Yeah, he's going to be looking for 3. He wants to hold some sort of record, doesn't he? But, Kevin Tagney, certainly the hero of tonight, and the marquee game of the week for sure.
And marquee in many ways. Why? 6,946 show up to Ludwig Field. It's a new attendance record for Maryland.
Yeah, it is, and it was a lively crowd, too. I mean, sometimes you get a big crowd, they're not lively, but I'll tell you, these teams entertained end-to-end the entire game.
Great stuff from Sasso Sorofsky's Maryland Terrapins and Almar Bolovich's North Carolina Tar Heels. Let's go to the highlights. In the first half, it was end-to-end. Hard to believe it ended 0-0.
It really was, and it almost didn't on this. Matt Castle's corner kick in, and this is Billy Cortez. It looks like it's going in, but Cameron Brown saves it off the line. Forbes' shot afterwards goes wide. We'll have another look at this. You see Cortez getting this perfect, and Cameron Brown just in front of the line. Cortez trying to talk the referee into it, but he couldn't. And then from this angle, still not going in.
And the crew went crazy. I thought maybe Forbes' goal went in because they thought it was.
Yeah, it went right to the side netting. And then right after that, this is Gray going forward from the right back. This is Billy Schuler with a shot and a game-saving, game-winning, we could even say, saved by Mac McMath. Billy Schuler, not a happy person, and he's going to get a little less happy soon here. This is Farfan playing the ball to Billy Schuler. Takes on Kevin Tagney, gets taken down the box. They get the penalty kick. Billy Schuler steps up, but he puts the ball wide. Could have put UNC up 1-0, but this shot just goes wide. He's leaning back, pushing it out. And this gives Maryland a chance to come back in. But before that, late in the game, it's Zach McMath, his only mistake of the game. It goes to Enzo Martinez. He tries to put it back in over McMath, but he couldn't do it. And then in 1 minute, 55 seconds left, this time Zach McMath with a great long ball in for North Carolina defender right to Kevin Tagney, heads it in over Brooks Haggerty for the game winner. One more look at this. Kevin Tagney, the hero tonight for the Maryland Terrapins.
And you got to feel for the back, Brett King, who just tried to clear it, went off his head the wrong way, but right to Tagney. The Terps, players, the crew, everybody loving it here in College Park. A great result for Maryland.
Yeah, it really was. And I mean, Maryland, both teams trying to find themselves defensively. Both teams doing a great job as well defensively. 1-0 win, shutout. Puts them right in the mix again.
Another great one is part of the NSCAA Game of the Week for the men's package. Gets even better. We'll go out to UC Santa Barbara, where 15,000 will be waiting for the Indiana Hoosiers.
Yeah, they will, and I'll tell you something. Tim Von Steeg is going to have to try to figure something out because his team's got so much talent, but they kind of go up and down. It's kind of a little bit of a seesaw, and I think they're going to need to be at the top of their game next week against Indiana.
All right, a week following, West Virginia, Marlon LeBlanc going for 3-0. Ray Reid's UConn Huskies.
Dean, it's actually 3 in a row on Fox Soccer Channel, but it's actually going to be 4 in a row if they win overall 1-0 as well, and they're trying to do it in West Virginia.
All right, we're going back to Binghamton. Another opportunity to see Neil Roberts' Boston University team.
Yeah, and we like that team. They had some great attacking players. Paul Marco with Binghamton hosting them.
And then Drake at Evansville the following week.
Yeah, Mike Jacobs trying to turn that Evansville program around. We'll be able to see Drake with Sean Holmes, the coach, leading them in there.
The Patriot League takes center stage October 30th. Lafayette at Bucknell.
Yeah, 2 of the teams that are always vying for the Patriot League championship. Late enough in the season that it's going to have a big thing to do with who wins that. 1 week later, UCF at Santa Clara. Yeah, both 2 teams that probably are underperforming a little bit right now. Hopefully by the end of the season, they'll be on the top of their game. A great matchup on the West Coast Conference. And then the final week, the Ivy League takes center stage, Princeton and Yale. Yeah, I'll tell you, we were with the Ivy League in the last game of last year on Fox Soccer Channel. It had an effect on the Ivy League champions, Dartmouth winning there to have a co-championship with Penn. This could be the same thing with Princeton and Yale. Thank you, Keith Tabatsnik. I'm Dean Linke. The NSCAA Men's College Soccer Review is presented by the National Soccer Coaches Association of America. The world's largest single sport coaching organization, the NSCAA is dedicated to providing the best in soccer coaching education. Visit nscaa.com for more information.